Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. It is a little bit of a serious topic. I like to have fun. You know, we talk about stuff, but I don't get into super serious stuff because bottom line is there's enough serious stuff in the world. But WNBA, okay, so let's talk a little WNBA All-Star Game. Decided to save this till the end because here's the thing. I inadvertently threw myself into the fire on Saturday night, okay? So Saturday night, I host Fox Sports Radio. By the way, do your boy Torres a solid. Download the podcast. Just download the podcast. Let's get the bosses at Fox Sports Radio happy. But I host Fox Sports Radio on Saturday night. And I'm prepping for the show, and, you know, you're just trying to make sure you didn't miss anything. Did anything happen that I didn't see today? And I go on social media, and I see this thing where apparently WNBA All-Star Game is this weekend. Caitlin Clark is not playing, but all of the players have decided that they are going to wear "Pay Us What You Owe Us" T-shirts as they go through a collective bargaining agreement. Now, the collective bargaining agreement is up in 2026. They're trying to get a new rights deal for, they're trying to get more money with the new rights deal in. But also it is worth noting, this is a league that has lost. They have not made money for 30 years. They have been subsidized by the NBA. And so I see this. I was like, it felt like Saturday was just a quiet night, not a lot of people on social media. So I see the video, I see the pictures, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to tweet what I really feel. I'm going to tweet what I really believe. I'm going to talk a little bit of WNBA on the old timeline today, okay? So I tweeted out. This is what I tweeted. I saw the video. I saw the picture. I said, WNBA players currently in the middle of CBA negotiations wore "Pay Us What You Owe Us" T-shirts for warm-ups at the All-Star Game. There is no group of more delusional people on planet Earth than WNBA players, okay? And so, of course, I knew it would probably get some people fired up. I didn't know quite how much people would get fired up. At last count, this thing had like 600 retweets, a lot of comments. But what I also find interesting is this. Saturday, when I tweeted it out, I would venture to say that probably 95% of the response kind of agreed with me. Hey, Torres, I don't like you, or I do like you, or whatever. But yeah, you're right. Delusional. Haven't made money for 30 years. Then there was like this weird revision to the story where all of a sudden I woke up Sunday and everyone's like, people don't know what all they need to do is a baseline level of research to see that these players deserve more money. And so I figured, rather than arguing with a bunch of bots on social media, I would explain myself here. Maybe we make a little reel out of it. We have the conversation like adults, and I explain my side of things because, like I said, things certainly got viral, okay? And so I think there are two things that can be true when it comes to this story, okay? Is that, again, and I think this is a little too complicated to try to tweet out, but I think two things can be true. I think we can inarguably, not even debatable, that the WNBA right now is an ascending property. That people care more now than they did even 2 years ago, 5 years, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, certainly. And that in theory, things are moving in the right direction. I also understand, by the way, that they just signed a new TV rights deal. There is more revenue coming into the sport. So I get all of that, okay? What I also understand is that this is a league that has lost money for 30 straight years. And so to that point, I saw a lot of people say, "Pay us what you owe us." Well, you owe a lot of people back pay for everything that you lost over the last 30 years. And so to me, I didn't think it was controversial. I saw a lot of people tweeting about it, but let's just go ahead and discuss this like adults. First of all, those two things are both true. This is my perspective on those two things, though. First of all, I understand that WNBA is an ascending product. I'll also say this. I'm still not sold that they have a league and a product that people care about. I do think they have a player that people indisputably care about. And when she plays, there is increased interest. And when she doesn't play, the interest decreases significantly. That's not even my opinion. It's a fact. Caitlin Clark in the WNBA All-Star game as of Thursday morning. She gets hurt Wednesday night. We don't know if she's going to play. Thursday, it is announced that she will not play in the WNBA All-Star game. Ticket prices dropped over 50% between Thursday and Friday. And then Friday to Saturday, they dropped even more. Okay, so over a 50% drop from one player. Now, you could argue it was in Indy, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But it is indisputable. By the way, remember, earlier this year, Indiana Fever were playing at the Chicago Sky. Chicago Sky, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. They move it to the United Center where the Chicago Bulls play. Caitlin Clark was in the game. Tickets you can't get a hold of them. All of a sudden, she's out with injury. $6 get-in price by the time the game tipped off. Those are not my opinions. Those are facts. And that leads me to question, again, is this an ascending product or do they have a transcendent superstar in this product? I think those are fair questions. And I think the thing I'd say with Caitlin Clark, if she leaves tomorrow, do people care? Listen, she's got a boyfriend. What if she decides she wants to do what Maya Moore did? She wants to start a family. She does, if she left tomorrow, I'm sorry. I'm just not sold that the product would continue to ascend the way that it did. So you have that element of it. But I think with the t-shirts, there are two things. If you want to argue that, yes, revenue is increasing, and yes, players deserve a bigger chunk of it, I would kind of disagree, but I think that's a fair, valid conversation. Here's my thing, though. There are better ways to do it than to just wear t-shirts and act like you're the victim and act like you're complaining, okay? Because the bottom line is, to me, I thought it looked bad. And I was thinking about like when Magic and Bird, when we talked about all this on Fox Sports Radio. But remember when Magic and Bird came into into the NBA and TV, the NBA finals were on tape delay? Imagine if Magic and Bird come in and there's a change in the league and immediately people are interested and then they immediately start complaining and demanding more money. We would all been like, chill out. What are you doing? Stop. So there's that part of it. And I just think there are better ways to negotiate. If, for example, I have an agreement with Collie Puffs, right? Collie Puffs is one of our advertisers. We love them, one of many, with more coming on for the fall. By the way, if you want to advertise, you can reach out to me at Aaron Torres, podcastquestions@gmail.com. But I bring it up because if Collie Puffs is mad at me about something or they want to renegotiate or they don't want to pay me what I think I'm worth, I don't go to social media or wear a t-shirt on this show. It doesn't make me look good. And I know it's not apples to apples, but I think it is actually relatively apples to apples. It just doesn't make me look good. It makes me look silly. Handle your situation behind the scenes. And I think the other thing that really struck me is even if revenue is up, even if things are increasing, even if things are getting better, you still lost money for 30 years. And you still not only lost money for 30 years, but let's take it a step further. You lost money for 30 years. You immediately start making a profit. And oh, by the way, you immediately start demanding more things, more money, more this, more that. And so I think two things can be true. I think behind the scenes, you can absolutely, negotiate. That's what negotiations are. But I also think when you make them public, and this is, I think, maybe the best sentiment that I can take out of it, 99, I don't want to say 99, the vast majority of the public is not going to be sympathetic to you because you've never made money. So I get it. You could, in theory, be making money a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You could, in theory, be an ascending product. The counter to that is you also lost money for 30 years and people don't feel bad for you. And I just thought it was a bad look overall. And I said this the other day, they're the most delusional people on the planet. Make some money year over year, this and that, keep this momentum going. And again, if you want to negotiate, do it behind the scenes, but it's like you finally have some positive momentum. And every time that you have a chance to kind of get in the goodwill of viewers and consumers, you kind of go the wrong direction. So that was the tweet. I didn't intend to go as viral as I did, but here we are. Torres talking WNBA on a Sunday in July, but I just felt like I had a lot of people that had a lot of thoughts on that, and I felt like it was probably worth it to discuss really quickly.